What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I just want to say thank God for another day and another opportunity. Now, as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, I'm going to be showing y'all how to create the first ever back-to-basket guard build with 100 plus post control, ball handle, mid-range, as well as a three-pointer. Now, I'm telling y'all, when it comes down to this build name, one of the most rare point guards that we're going to see throughout the year. But man, as you can see from the gameplay, this build's going to be able to do a little bit of everything on the offensive end, but even more so on the defensive, because we're going to be able to get that lockdown takeover. Now look, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and I would appreciate it if everybody went ahead and smashed that like button. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to put this build under the point guard position. Now when it comes down to everything that goes into this build, there's going to be some certain thresholds that you need to hit in order to maintain the build name. So when it comes down to the height on this build, I'm going to go with 6'9". Now if you want to take up the most space on the defensive end, I would go ahead and pick Built. But again, this build definitely reminds me of Kobe from the name, especially Magic Johnson as well, so you could even go with Defined. But I'm telling y'all, on the defensive end, Built is definitely going to be the best one to go with. Now when it comes down to our physicals, I'm going to go with the speed of a 77, acceleration going to be a 79. For now we can skip over the strength because this is going to go up later. Then when it comes down to the vertical, I'm going to go with the 70. Then for the stamina, I'm going to go with the 90. Now this pretty much sets us up for the physicals. I think this is the best way to go about it. Now if you want to, you can max out the speed, but honestly, I think 77 is going to be perfect. Especially once we get Gym Rat, we'll be able to get a +4, so already this build will have an 81. So I'm going to go with the 77, and right here for the physicals, this is the best way. Now from here, let's go ahead and get into the next area, which is going to be the finishing. Now when it comes down to the finishing, I'm going to go with the close shot of an 85, 80 for the driving layup, 81 for my driving dunk, 80 standing dunk with a 94 post control. Now right here we get 25 badges, and as you can see, every badge pretty much out of tier 1 is on Hall of Fame. The other 2 are Silver Acrobat as well as Slithery, but I think both of these badges are going to be important. Now for tier 1, I like the fact that we do get Back Down Punisher with Pro Touch. Then for tier 2, we also get 3 gold badges, 1 silver being Limitless Takeoff, but then we also get Gold Fearless Finisher. Now when it comes down to tier 3, I like the fact that we get Posterizer, Rise Up, and then Fast Twitch. Now when it comes down to the shooting, I'm going to go with the mid-range shot of an 81, 80 when it comes down to my three-pointer. Then for the free throw, I'm going to go with the 78. Now I'm going to go ahead and let you know right now, we're going to be able to get sharpshooting and shot creating takeover. So add the +10 from those takeovers into this area. Now that's going to be a 91 and a 90. Then if you go ahead and buy your own boost, you'll have a 96 mid-range as well as a 95 three-pointer. Now if you have a teammate that does run floor general, both of these are going to be a 99 plus. But when it comes down to the free throw, I think this is the perfect range that you need to work with. And for tier 1, 6 of them are going to be Hall of Fame, 2 gold, and I think Amped is going to be super important. Then from there, on tier 2, Agent 3, and then we also get 3 gold badges. Then when it comes down to tier 3, we get Silver Blinders, Catch and Shoot, Bronze Limitless Range, and then Bronze Deadeye. Now let's go ahead and move on to the playmaking. So for my pass accuracy, I'm going to go with the 75, 84 for my ball handle with a 75 speed with the ball. Now right here we get 19 badges, and the main ones that I'm looking at, Gold Hyperdrive, Hall of Fame Ankle Breaker. Then we're also able to get a few other badges out of tier 1. But then when it comes down to tier 2, Gold Quick First Step is going to be essential, Vice Grip is pretty important. And then to wrap it up with tier 3, look, if you make one adjustment going 1 extra point on ball handle, you'll be able to get handles for days on silver, but this is going to change up the build name. So you need to go with an 84, and we're going to remain with bronze handles for days, unpluckable on gold, silver killer combos with clamp breaker as well. Now remember, this is more of a rare build type name, so if you want to make any adjustments you can do so, but I'm telling y'all, you may get a completely different build name if you do that. Now from here, let's go ahead and wrap it up with the defensive end. Now for the interior defense, I'm going to go with the 58, 79 when it comes down to my perimeter, 78 with the steal, 75 for my block, and then for my offensive rebound, 67 with a 73 defensive. Now right there we get 20 badges, and in total for this build we get 85. Now for the badges out of tier 1, we're able to get ankle braces on gold, silver box out beast, and then also able to get bronze glove. Then for tier 2, challenger on silver, clamps on bronze, interceptor on silver, and then gold chase down artist. Then for tier 3, anchor, pogo stick, rebound chaser, and I think this is the best setup for this rare build. Remember, once you become a starter in my career, that's a +4 towards your attributes on the badges. Now if you completed season 1, you'll be able to have up to 90 badges on this build. But from here, let's go ahead and check out the takeovers. We get the shot creating, also going to be able to get the sharpshooting. Then we get the lockdown on this build, and also of course, we're going to get the post scoring. So however you decide to go about this build, base it off your own playstyle and preference. So for my liking to be more like Kobe, of course you want to go with the shot creating takeover. But to be the best overall, I think limitless range sharpshooting is going to be the first takeover that I would go with. Now if you want, you can pick a lockdown takeover, but I'm telling y'all, limitless range is definitely going to help you out on top of everything. Now one that I like is honestly going to be the post scoring, so I'm going to go with advanced post moves just to be better overall on the offensive end. Let's go ahead and check out the build name to make sure that we made it correctly. And again, if you made it this far into the video, I appreciate y'all. And as y'all can see, we have Penny Hardaway, Luka Doncic, and we have created the back-to-basket guard build with 100 post control, mid-range, ball handle, and 90 plus for most of our defensive stats. Now if you mess with this build, I would appreciate it if everybody went ahead and smashed that like button. Go ahead and let me know in the comments what y'all think about this build and if you would make it differently. But if you're still watching, go ahead and comment down TG for thank God, as well as where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely got y'all with the response. Now from here, let's go ahead and check out really quickly what this build looks like once we max it out completely. Now remember, we picked the sharpshooting and the post scoring takeover, so that's a +10 towards those two different areas when activated. Now if you buy your own boost, that's a +5, and if you run with teammates that do have on floor general, that's another +4, so I'm telling y'all, in total you'll have +19. Now from here, go ahead and do what you want about the takeovers, but let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the badges. Now for the finishing on tier 1, I'm going to go with Back Down Punisher and Hall of Fame, also going to go with Pro Touch. And then from there, I'm going to go with Silver Slithery, and then Bronze Giant Slayer. And then for tier 2, I like Gold Fearless Finisher, one of my favorite finishing badges in all of 2K. Then when it comes down to the next badge, I'm going to go with Silver Limitless Takeoff, and this is going to wrap it up for tier 2. Now when it comes down to tier 3, I like Gold Core, Fast Twitch, and then also Bronze Posterizer for my own badge points. Now if you want to go about this setup differently, you definitely can do so, but I'm telling y'all, this is the best way that you want to go about it for the finishing. Now I think we have all the badges that we're going to need. Again, you can go with some of the post scoring. So for example, if you want to take off Fast Twitch, one that you can throw on will be Dream Shake on Hall of Fame, and I'm telling y'all, this badge breaks a lot of ankles, so if you want to go with it, you can definitely keep it as is. Now from here, let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the shooting. Now for tier 1, I think everybody needs to go ahead and put on Gold Amped. From here, with the post scoring on this build, I had to go ahead and put on Hall of Fame Midi Magician, Space Creator, and then Silver Volume Shooter. Now if you want, you could go with Bronze Green Machine for tier 2, then go ahead and put on Hall of Fame Volume Shooter. I think this is another solid setup as well, but then when it comes down to tier 2, you can go with either Bronze or Gold Green Machine, and then also we're able to get Agent 3 on Bronze here. Now for tier 3, I'm going to put on Bronze Limitless Range, and I think this is going to be best as our core badge. Now if you want to make any adjustments on the badges, you definitely can do so, but I honestly think this is going to be the best in order to get the most out of this build. But from here, we're going to go ahead and get into the playmaking. Now when it comes down to tier 1, I think this badge is definitely one of the best and most slept on. I'm going to go with Hall of Fame Ankle Breaker. Then from here, just to help out on the pass accuracy, I'm going to go with Silver Break Starter, and then also Gold Hyperdrive. Now for tier 2, I'm going to go with Quick First Step on Gold, and then tier 3, Silver Killer Combos as my core badge, and then Bronze Handles for days. Now down the road, if you add on the 4 extra badges towards this build, we'll be able to put on Clamp Breaker, or you could even go ahead and put on Unpluckable on Gold. Now for now, like I said, I'm going to leave you on Break Starter on Silver, but I think this is going to be the best setup of playmaking badges that you can work with on this build. Now from here, let's go ahead and get into the defensive end. Now for tier 1, I honestly spreaded the wealth just to be able to get the most out of the defense. So look, for tier 1, for the bronze badges, I went with ankle braces as well as glove. And then from there, silver box out beast, and then I went ahead and cored my tier 3 badge, just so that way I'm able to put on off-ball pest on Hall of Fame. Now if you want to, you can put on any of these other badges that are available. I was thinking menace, but again, since we don't get it on Hall of Fame, I'm just going to go ahead and pick off-ball pest. Now for tier 2, I like Chase Down Artists on gold, also going to be able to get Silver Interceptor and then Bronze Clamps. And then to wrap it up on tier 3, I like Anchor. I was going to go ahead and leave the extra badges to put on Rebound Chaser, but I think having Anchor on core, especially on the Bronze badge, is going to be the most that I want out of the tier 3. But overall, I think this is the best setup for the defensive end. Now go ahead and let me know in the comments, what do y'all think about this setup? Would you do anything differently and why? But again, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who made it this far into the video. Now comment down TG for thank God, as well as where you tuned in from watching today, and I most definitely got y'all with a response. But man, with all that being said, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, and turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. And I would highly appreciate it if everybody went ahead and smashed that like button. Go ahead and drop a comment down below, where did y'all tune in from today? And with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.